What's going on, y'all? It is Thursday, July 20th, and we're checking out Jason Aldean's new song called Try That in a Small Town. And Ben Shapiro, nothing is ever racist according to him, and he is stepping up to bat to defend this song against accusations of racism. Let's check it out.
So there's a new Jason Aldean song. Okay, this new Jason Aldean song is a massive hit. It is called...
Yes, he's right about that. 5 million views, 6 days.
Try That in a Small Town. The video is controversial.
Yes, it's definitely controversial. Right off the bat, Fox News says the song is anti-crime and has pro-law enforcement themes. This is not true, okay? Take a look at the lyrics. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that shit may fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. So definitely at least implying vigilante justice for anything that is, that doesn't fly in the big city. Like even you're not allowed to burn a flag according to him. If you do, we're going to beat you up.
So controversial that it was removed by actually country music TV. It was removed because it essentially showed various riots. And then it said, like, try that in a small town and see how it goes for you.
So what does that mean, Ben? Isn't that sort of a threat?
The accusation is that this was racist.
Okay, so when I first watched the video, and Jason Aldean even tweeted, there is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it. So when I was watching Ben's video, I was confused why he mentions race so much. And he buries the lead and only mentions it at the end of the video, like less than 50 seconds left of the video. He finally brings up the real argument.
Which is weird, because there are a lot of black people who live in small towns. And turns out black people also not super fond of rioting. But apparently the take of the media is that if you oppose riots and you think that in a small town that sort of thing doesn't go, that means that you actually want to kill black people just randomly.
Nobody is saying this.
That, of course, is not what the song is even remotely about. Here is some of the music video for Jason Aldean's song. And he's showing Antifa riots, and he's, basically the idea is try this Antifa crap here and see how it goes for you.
Okay, so he's claiming that this is Antifa. I Googled, is Antifa linked to riots? From the Washington Post. Who caused the violence at protests? It wasn't Antifa. From the Associated Press. They find that most arrested in protests aren't leftist radicals. Another one from Congress.gov. There's little evidence of Antifa links in U.S. prosecutions of those charged in protest violence. And one last one. Most arrested in protests are not associated with Antifa. No big shock, but Ben will say it anyway.
They're accusing him of racism, and CMTV took it actually removed the video. You know a company is looking out for you.
Well, they're accusing him of racism for a different reason, which you failed to mention 2 minutes into the video. And now we have to sit through a 2-minute long ad. Literally, we're at 2 minutes right now, and it goes all the way to 4:06. 4:07.
Today. So here's what Jason Aldean wrote, quote, in the past 24 hours, I've
Okay, he's just going to read Jason Aldean's tweet. I'll pull it up.
been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song, a song that has been out since May, and was subject to the comparison that
I wonder why it's called pro-lynching. I did my journalistic integrity, and I found out that it was tracked down to this person right here. A tweet, a random person on Twitter. A modern lynching song. Okay, that's it.
I quote, direct quote, was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests. These references are not only meritless but dangerous. There's not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it, and there isn't a single video clip that isn't real news footage. And while I can...
Again, this is a straw man. Even though there is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it, that's a straw man. Just because there's not a single lyric in the song that references race, there might be another reason, which we'll see shortly.
And try and respect others to have their own interpretation of a song with music, this one goes too far. As so many pointed out, I was present at Route 91, where so many lost their lives, and our community recently suffered another heartbreaking tragedy. No one, including me, wants to continue to see senseless headlines or families ripped apart. Try that in a small town for me refers to a feeling of community that I had growing up, where we took care of our neighbors regardless of differences of background or belief. Because they were our neighbors, and that was above any differences. My political views have never been something I've hidden from. I know a lot of us in this country don't agree on how we get back to a sense of normalcy, or where we go at least a day without a headline that keeps us up at night. But the desire for it to, that's what this song is about. And that apparently is super duper duper bad. It's terrible. If I say criminality doesn't fly in my community, and your immediate take is that's racist, you are being...
Nobody is making this argument, Ben. Nobody is making this argument.
Racist. You are suggesting that the crime is only from black people, or that by targeting crime, you're actually targeting black people, which is ridiculous. A majority of the crime in the country is coming from white people. And now, again,
Let's
a
get to the
disproportionate
real
share
argument,
of crime,
please.
violent crime, like murder.
Ben is about to bring up the real argument now, but this is really disgusting. He says it's the backup reason.
It's like saying that if you target crime, what you're actually targeting is men, because virtually all crime is performed by men. Did Jason Aldean do something wrong here? Of course not. Now, then they go to their backup argument. Their backup argument is he filmed this in a town that 102 years ago had a lynching.
Okay, so starting off, it was not 102 years ago. It was 96 years ago, okay? So Jason Aldean records the video in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee. This is the site of the 1946 Columbia race riot and the 1927 mob lynching of an 18-year-old black teenager named Henry Choate, okay? So a pretty notorious spot to film a video. And what's extremely ironic is the population of Columbia, Tennessee is only 43,000. That kind of seems like a small town to me. It's almost like a lynching was tried and successful and was accepted in such a small town. Just extremely ironic. Just terrible.
You got to be kidding. You really think that Jason Aldean was like, well, I'm going to go to a town that had a lynching 102 years ago, and that's where I'm going to film this video?
96 years ago? Okay, why do you think he filmed it there? I don't know. Why would he? Why not film it in Memphis?
Yeah, because that's where I really want this film. It's subtle. It's a subtle race bait. Like, come on. Pathetic dweebs. Think that people are sitting around thinking like this? They're not. Nobody is thinking like this.
I don't know what's going on in Jason Aldean's head, but it's certainly weird that he would film his music video, in front of a extremely notorious area where a lynching occurred.
Good for Jason Aldean for not backing down. He shouldn't apologize. And it doesn't seem like he will, which would make him one of the first artists who is not doing that in recent memory. So good for Jason Aldean.
So yeah, that's all for the video. So again, the real reason people were upset is because it was filmed at the site of a race riot and a mob lynching of an 18-year-old. Anyway, have a great day, y'all. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next video. And don't fall for the propaganda of the Daily Wire and anyone else like Ben Shapiro.